week. It takes confidence to say, I see everybody doing that, but I'm about to do this because this is what I believe to be right. It was so many things that I had done when I was a teenager. I did that because it was a part of the crowd. And I paid for that. But that's because I was lacking confidence, right? So if I'm thinking about, man, my children being confident, how can I make sure that I instill the confidence in my children? That's just by not compromising it, right? That means that when they do right and I see them doing right, I tell them about the right. But also when they do the wrong, I'm going to tell them about the wrong, but I'm not going to avoid from telling them about the right. You see what I'm saying? If I don't tell them about the right and I just tell them about the wrong, then I have actually given them a lie, because it's some right in the wrong of us and it's some wrong in the right of us. My responsibility is to make sure I give my children the truth, right? The truth will set you free. If I give my children the truth, then they will be able to grow properly off of the truth. The issue is when we tell our children the lies. The lies is what? Man, you know what? Hey, man, you didn't do this right. I was talking to about my son. He got into the shower, right? And he did it. He got into the shower. He was getting up on his own, getting into the shower, regulating himself, getting himself dressed, getting himself on the bus. And when I found out that he wasn't washing up using soap and a rag, right? Now, what is my responsibility? When I found out that I go in the shower and the soap is dry and the rag is dry, right? I could have came at it in a way to where I could have broken down, where I could have just pointed out the wrong. Man, son, you ain't even using no soap or no washcloth, man. You dirtied in a mug, man. I could have labeled them, right? And that's another thing that can break down the confidence when you start to label people and things like that. When I start to say, man, you stupid, you dirty. No, this is just something that you doing right now, but that's not you. When people will sit up there and say, man, you a thug or you a criminal or you a dope dealer or you a drug addict or whatever may be the case, that's not you. That's just what you are doing at that particular time. But so often people will label you as that, and when we get labeled as that, then that breaks down our confidence, especially when you are a child. And so often we get labels that breaks down our confidence. You dirty, you nasty, right? You slow, you lazy. So if we understand that we want our children to have confidence, then what are we going to do? We are going to make sure that we tell them the truth. We are going to make sure that we tell them what is right and the wrong too as well. It's not saying that we don't have to tell them the wrong, because we're going to tell them about the wrong too as their parents, because we want them to correct that error. But we also want to let them know that we see some right in it as well. And once they start to understand that that we see right in them, they will start to see right in themselves. Does that make sense? Right? So then that means that they say, man, you know what? Hey, man, yeah, okay. I went on ahead. I still got up on time. I still got in the shower on my own. I'm still getting dressed and getting ready for school. I'm still getting on the bus right now by myself, right? I'm still doing some things that say that I'm self-regulated. Now I just got to go ahead and address, man, me using soap and a rag. It makes them feel totally different. So it is my responsibility when I'm interacting with my children to identify the right that they are doing, even when it's some wrong. So that's the difficult part, and that's where the parenting piece comes into place at. But if I understand that I'm trying to protect their confidence, that I'm trying to increase their confidence, then I would know that I got to tell them about what's right as well, right? Because that's how they can grow off of the truth. And if you're just telling half the story, then it's actually a lie. And our children cannot grow the way that they should off of lies, right? So then that's why we want to make sure that we focus on the positive to protect the confidence. The next thing that we want to do, we want to make